Hello, I'm Jane Kingsu Cheng, one of the editors of the Manila Bulletin. Welcome to MB Hot Seat. This is Manila Bulletin's forum where editors and content producers face the personalities running in the 2022 national elections. For this episode, my fellow panelists joining me are Ms. Emily Bugarin, editor of Tempo and assistant head of the Manila Bulletin City Cluster. Ms. Jaline Ramos, content producer of the Manila Bulletin who covers the City of Manila. And Mr. Lance Advincula, a member of the social media team of the Manila Bulletin. We welcome to the MB Hot Seat our guest for today, Atty. Alex Lopez, one of the candidates for mayor of the City of Manila. A lot of people know him as the eldest son of former Manila Mayor Mel Lopez, who was well loved by the Manileños. But Atty. Lopez is more than that, as he is a social civic leader and advocate for Manila's progress and development. As the standard bearer of the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas in the City of Manila, we want to hear from Atty. Lopez his stand on various issues and his plans for the historic city. Before we start with the questions, may we invite Atty. Lopez to share a few words to our audience.
Magandang umaga po, Ma'am Emily, Sir Lance, Ma'am Jane, and
Jaline.
Ma'am Janine. So, I'm happy to be here in the hot seat, and I am privileged, and I hope it will be a warm seat rather than a hot seat. As I see you're already warming up, so I hope I can warm up equally.
Thank you, sir. May we invite Ms. Emily to ask the first question?
First and foremost, thank you, Atty. Lopez, for accepting our invitation.
My pleasure, Madam.
As a start, what do you think is your edge over other candidates running for mayor in the City of Manila?
First, I think I come from, although I've had an experience in the government, working as the right-hand man of my father, kaagapay po ko ng aking ama, ng kanyang pagiging alkalde, noong 1986 hanggang 1992. Ako po ay manggagaling sa private sector. At I think after COVID, we need a fresh start, a fresh outlook, with fresh vision coming from the private sector. Baka naman may maidudulot ang mga naging matagumpay sa larangan ng ibang sektor at madala naman sa larangan ng gobyerno, having in mind kasi from 1986 to 1992 nung lumabas po kami sa gobyerno, I've always thought every day how we can improve the lives of the city, and I think I will bring a fresh outlook, bringing in the outlook of the private sector po. And yun po, isa sa mga advantage ko, and I think I come here, we've all been tested in our fields, and I think I've excelled in my field, and from a small manufacturing company, one of my companies has become to be one of the few quadruple A construction companies in the Philippines. It is a big feat po. And I think I can offer what I have done to my company to the City of Manila. Like Phoenix, coming from the ashes, we can bring it back like a phoenix po. No? From the ashes, we can rebuild the City of Manila po. From the effects not only of COVID, but also of the past, of the past.
What would be your priorities as a mayor? What would Mayor Alex Lopez administration be different from the present administration?
Priorities ko po, siguro unang-una is ang priority ko is marginalized upliftment, marginalized empowerment. So, yung mga may hirap po, paano po natin paaangatin ang buhay niyan? But of course, it's a tall order, and you have to do many things in order to reach that goal. No? We have to redirect the resources of the city. We have to have a heart for helping the poor. And we have to have a new vision po for different sectors of different vision and different approaches po that have been implemented not only during this administration but during the past. We need a total redevelopment po, total approach. And yan po. I think that's how my priorities would be, no? So
Okay. In some of your statements, you have criticized the present administration's spending for the Manila Zoo rehabilitation or the housing in Tondo. Can you comment on this?
first, I did not criticize the rehabilitation of the housing in Tondo. In fact, I would encourage more of it, but not at the price it was. The buildings are being constructed, and we wish there would be more of these buildings and the relocation site without destroying existing buildings. What my criticism was, the Rosario Almario Elementary School was just built, rehabilitated by President Erap, Mayor Erap, for 120 million plus 4 years ago, and it is being demolished and rehabilitated for mixed-use housing, and that's what I was criticizing. You don't have to demolish existing units, residential units. Ang zoo naman po, well, obviously, 1.7 billion at the time of COVID, I think it is very clear that it is a wrong priority. I don't think you need to rehabilitate. You know, that's a budget for 3 provinces, 3 small provinces, para tirahan ng hayop po. Tingin ko po, there is so much need, there is so much housing to be built, walang pagkain sa hapagkainan, walang trabaho. Kailangan po natin ang gamot, simple medicines po ng ubo, lagnat, vitamins, yung mga... So, yung zoo po, hindi na papanahon ngayon. At 1.7 billion is a huge amount of money. Sinasabi ko nga, siguro you can visit the zoo and see whether that's a 1.7 billion project. So, I mean, tao na hong humisga, kayo na pumunta sa zoo, napakalaki po nun. Kung budget ba ng 3 probinsya yung ginastos sa zoo, if you think that's then maybe okay yun, no? Pero hindi pa rin kasi hindi ho napapanahon kasi may COVID po tayo, may pandemya. Kailangan po doon po tayo sa let's respond. Kailangan ng pagkain sa pagkainan, kailangan po ng trabaho. Natutuwa naman po ko sa present administration na they're giving 25,000 new jobs as job orders. But medyo huli na ho, pero better late than never. I don't know if this is a political ploy but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm giving them the benefit of the good faith. Let's assume good faith. So, palagay na lang natin na nakakatulong sila and I've been espousing this since October. Let's give more jobs because people need more jobs. We have to stand up on our feet for the COVID response po.
Thank you, Ms. Emily. Thank you, Atty. Lopez. We now proceed to Jeline, who will ask more questions.
Morning, sir. So, surveys have emerged from various sources, with some calling your opponent, the incumbent vice mayor, as leading. Some surveys have said that you are both statistically tied, while some have said that you are emerging as a front runner. What is your take on these surveys?
I take surveys as what they are. No, they represent 600, 1,000 people. So it is reflective of the views of the 1,000 people at the time it was taken. So, but that's the quantitative survey. The qualitative survey, I take it seriously because I want to know the views of these people. So I read the qualitative surveys very intently, and we try to adjust our campaign based on the qualitative survey. But the numbers, they change depending on as many factors as there are voters. So we just like to keep our focus straight head on to our objective and hoping that we can uplift the lives of the Manileños.
You are the Uniteam's candidate for the City of Manila. You have announced in various interviews that you plan to see to it that Marcos Jr. garners more votes than Isko Moreno. Do you think this is possible?
I think several surveys have showed this, so the possibility is not only apparent but real, no? So more than that, I've seen the motorcades of Yorme, and I've seen BBM's motorcades, and I think Yorme's motorcades, despite his massive influence and organization and resources and personal appeal. Kasi we have to admit, sorry Mr. President BBM, mas pogi naman talaga si Isko. Mas pogi, magaling sumayaw, he's so attractive. But why is it that we had the motorcade planned for 28 kilometers, we timed it for 1 hour 50 minutes. Nasa 3 hours na kami, 2 hour 50 minutes, nandun pa lang kami sa kilometer 5 because we were being mobbed. And we did not spend a single cent. Alam nyo naman, no, again, nothing personal to our presidential candidate. Alam nyo naman, Ilocano presidential candidate namin. We really don't spend, he's not sent a single centavo to his campaign, at least not to the federal party and to, but we manage on a platform of clean, honest government and united front and unity for change and progress. So babangon muli tayo.
I'm sure this has been asked of you before, but you can clarify this further. Your father, the former Mayor Mel Lopez, opposed Marcos during martial law, and he was even one of the victims of the Plaza Miranda bombing. How would you reconcile that with you now supporting the campaign of Marcos Jr.?
Well, the Plaza Miranda bombing, I was there with my father. I was on the 4th row. He was the last speaker. I would always joke him na kaya binomba yon pa dahil ang sama ng speech mo. So but later on, asking my father, he told me na walang kinalaman si Marcos dyan sa Plaza Miranda bombing. And I think that's been established. Even Jovi Salonga, who is very close to my wife and to my father-in-law, former Senator Sotero Laurel, claims that because I asked him personally. So now my father, being opposed to Marcos, was based on principle. And to give you two stories, he was opposed to Marcos on principle, but he also opposed Cory also on principle. So in fact, he was not the mayoralty candidate of Cory during the 1992 elections because he opposed a lot of the policies of Cory at the time. So going back to my two stories, I think when Marcos died, that was 1988, I was with my father in Moscow. We were meeting with Valentina Tereshkova, the foreign affairs minister. She's the first woman cosmonaut. We were there with the mayor of Moscow, and President Marcos died. So he tried to, at that time we were fresh, really so anti-Marcos, but he tried so hard to get the City of Manila to half-mast all the flags in respect for Marcos, because he's also done a lot of good things, and my father respects that. And I think Ambassador Quirolico is still alive because Ambassador Melchor was at that time being investigated by the Senate. Ambassador Quirolico can attest to the fact that we were arguing with him, fighting him to get, because mahirap ang communications nun to get our message to half-mast. That's one. Another story was In 2016, I was asked to by BBM to campaign for him in the City of Manila. And while campaigning, it came out in the papers, a lot of newspapers, that Lopez, Laurel, Sion campaigns for Marcos. So, before I campaigned for Marcos, I asked father, because my father, who was at that time the chairman of Philippine National Oil Corporation, under the pain of being removed, my father says, do what you have to do, and if you think he's a good man, as you say he is, then help him. So with the blessings, alam niya, pwede siyang tanggalin sa PNOC. The president, being at that time Pinoy, I think it was on January, he called me for 15 minutes, the sitting president of the Republic, and asked me why am I campaigning for BBM. So I asked him why not. So that 15 minutes was really long. I don't think but the gist of it is he could not convince me, because I asked him, nag-congressman yan, nag-senador yan, nag-governor yan. Ano ba yung ninakaw niyan? Kasi una sinabi niya, nakaw na yaman nila, ayaw niyang aminin eh. So, di ba, there are courts naman to prove whether these are nakaw na yaman. It's not for me to judge his father. Much more judge the son, di ba? So, wala namang accusations with all the might of the presidency, NICA, NBI, Police, AFP, ISAF. Wala siyang masabi sa akin kahit isa na ninakaw ni BBM. So, on this stage, and because of the vision, the drive, the personality, the heart of BBM, I know him personally to be of kind-hearted. He's a very honest man. Personally, I know him to be upright. And he has the vision, and he has, I think more than any candidate, his family name has been much maligned. And I think he has the most to prove for our country. So, napakarami ng dapat patunayan at ipaglaban ni BBM. And I think because of this, I think he will make the best president.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jeline, for your questions. Attorney Lopez, we also have questions from our social media followers. We have over 3.5 million followers now online. Lance from our social media team will read some of those questions.
Thanks, Ms. Jane. Hi, Attorney Lopez. So, as what Ms. Jane mentioned, these are the questions that we've gathered online. First is from Facebook user Ali Padilla. Given that you are from the business industry in the past years before entering politics, how are you preparing to become the mayor of Manila?
Well, I've for 6 years, 1986 and 1992, I was the right-hand man of the mayor of Manila when, in fact, 2 of those years, there was no city council. We were coming from a revolutionary government. So I think I come well prepared, plus the fact that my success in business can only be replicated in, I know we can replicate it with some adjustments. Of course, with we have to abide by, of course, ibang-iba ang shareholder ko rito is may 9 individuals to stakeholders ko is 1.9 Manilans, and they are represented by 36 councilors, 896 barangay chairman. So I believe that giving jobs in my business, helping my business progress, we will apply the same principles in politics. How to give jobs, how to be fair, not only to my shareholders, but also to our employees, how to uplift their lives. So I think there are basic principles on private and public, and I know the distinction clearly because I am a lawyer, because I have served as the right-hand man of Mayor Mel Lopez in 1986 and 1992, and I think we have been acknowledged as not only by independent individuals, but even our opponents. Mel Lopez Boulevard, was proposed by our political opponent, Lito Atienza, and he fought hard. We saw how he fought hard in Congress and in the Senate to defend why Mel Lopez Boulevard should be, and the ribbon was inaugurated by my opponent. So, pinarangalan kami kahit ng mga kalaban namin sa politika. So, it's not only the independent people who acknowledge our work, and I think I was a big part of that administration, being the right hand of my father during those 6 years. And kayo naman, you can look through the records, you can ask anybody in City Hall, wala kayong maririnig na masamang ginawa si Alex Lopez despite the enormous influence I had in the City Hall. So, wala ho. Puro tulong lang po ang ginawa ko noon. I think walang makakapag-sabi sa akin, Alex, ba't mo ginawa po? Wala ho. 6 years, unblemished record po tayo sa City Hall. Kahit yung mga kalaban po namin, walang pwedeng sabihin sa akin po na masama.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving on, the next question is from another Facebook follower, Lian Kakpal. With the shutdown of SMEs in various parts of the country, including Manila, in the past 2 years, as a businessman and as a mayoral candidate, what are your proposed platforms for these businesses in order for them to recover?
First, we have a wide variety of fiscal and monetary solutions to the present problem, no? But I think more specifically, the fiscal policy is first, I've already proposed a tax break and a tax incentive and tax deferment. Mayor Isko has deferred upon my, I don't know if he was listening to me, by October, I was already asking the city not to collect taxes and fees and defer tax payment till October, which we plan to October this year. So, nagbigay siya ng discount for early payment on December, and he deferred yung January for real estate and business taxes to March 30. I would propose another deferment and another income tax holiday with a little amnesty on October 30 or September 30 or October, sometime in October, to help our businessman stand up. Secondly, instead of their sudden change to build, which I think is rather belated, because build is not the time now. As we would see the national government, build was started before COVID. During COVID po, you will see the General Appropriations Act. Their budget on build was substantially reduced and redirected to COVID response, to pagkain sa pagkainan, to health, and to creating jobs. So, dyan po natin dadalhin ang business. Plus, we have a lot of policy changes po. We appreciate the city's one-stop shop. We would like to commend the city, but we would like also to apply this to the laborers, one-stop shop. So pagpapasok ka, nandun na yung NBI, nandun na yung police clearance, nandun na yung barangay clearance, all in one stop. We're doing this already, I think, for the businesses. But the problem is the business right now, especially on zoning, we have to redirect our zoning laws. We have to yung pera ho natin, as I said, we will redirect it to creating cooperatives and to lending as much as possible to livelihood projects. And alam nyo, may effect ho to may mushroom effect to. Pag nagpahiram ka sa baba, yung mga negosyo kahit papano, under po yan. May effect po yan. May side effect po yan at sisigla ang Manila po pagka yung but of course we have to start down, and of course we'll try to sandwich it, no, up and down. Alam niyo naman sa Pilipinas, bibingka, konting init sa baba, konting init sa taas. So we'll have policies below for the poor, and we'll have policies especially also for the businessman, helping them uplift and stand up in this after this COVID, no? Marami pong naghirap talaga, kaya kailangan tulungan natin sila. Maraming nagsarang negosyo, maraming maliliit na negosyante, mga vendors, huminto na. Yung mga nagbebenta, kahit na yung leaseholders and tenants, yung mga nagbebentang may tindahan, nagsara na, yung mga may restaurants. And we hope the opening of the economy would also help us. Plus, we will have to open up the city more freely. We will have less restrictive policies on and rationalize our building laws. Ang dami po. Kaya we have so many for business and especially the business of the poor and the marginalized.
Thank you, sir. And since you're already discussing your future plans for Manila, the next question is from Ram Cedric Rabelas. He wants to know, how will you deliver your projects timely and efficiently? What are your plans to cut red tape in the City Hall?
First is to deliver the projects timely. There are existing engineering and administrative ways to solve those problems. Of course, we need dedicated people to man the implementation of these projects. So we have to rationalize the management, inspire the City Hall. Right now, the City Hall employees, I don't think they're getting the right income they deserve. So how do we expect too much production from people who are underpaid? No? So that's our basic principle po, is to give every man his due. And I think we should start from the management po of City Hall. So if the City Hall can give the employees their fair share, then we can start rationalizing. Let's have less political appointees. Right now, I think more than 60% are OICs. They are not holding the positions that they were assigned and given by law to yung position nila, lahat OIC, halos lahat po. I can show you a list. At least I think 60% is an understatement, yung mga head. So if you have OICs coming from political backgrounds and not I can make specifics right now, not those who are fully qualified, you demoralize the whole rank and file. And when the rank and file is demoralized, there is so much inefficiency. So I think we have to give proper morale and keep the boys. We have to lead by example. So, and leadership starts from appointing the right people who will be dedicated, and of course giving them their proper due, the right remunerations, and then we can realign some departments which are not really responsive to the our mandate of true government service. For example, the hawkers are being used to dissipate the vendors. Kawawa naman ang mga vendors. I think we should look at the vendors differently. They've been viewed after the war by all governments naman, not only the past administration, but as an obstruction to vehicular and pedestrian traffic. I think we should view these vendors, kasi marangal na hanap buhay naman to and they comprise a bulk of the poor that are striving. Nakakabayad sila sa 5-6. Tapos, sino ba may gustong magbilad sa araw at sa init habang buhay? So they also want to move forward. So I think we should look at them not as a praise to some government official there na alam nyo naman yan, pumunta kayo ngayon, pagtanong nyo dyan sa lahat ng vendor dyan, they're paying 20, 50, ito as high as thousands in in very nice places, no? So we should look at them. We should remove all this regulation instead of trying to magtagisa ng lakas, energy, and economic resources. Ang city, ang vendor, ang leaseholders, I think we should work hand in hand. So the hawkers should be made to help these vendors. Pautangin sila, tulungan sila to make Manila a city that doesn't sleep, redirect the resources in the evening. Let's light up the night markets. Let's promote it. Let's have bands. Let's have concerts. Along the Pasig, I think is very ripe for Pasig Bayview. It's nice to walk along the Pasig now because we have some of our meetings on Congressman Ocampo's residence. And Pasig River is beautiful, and I think the people would like to rediscover Pasig now. So we'd like to thank the national government for cleaning up the Pasig, and I think the city should take the lead now in trying to put impetus on developing this not only for tourists but commercial commercial concerns, no? So magamit natin kasi maganda maglakad sa Pasig yan at hindi na siya kagaya ng dati na it's abhorring to walk along the Pasig. Ngayon nandun kami sa Pasig, ang ganda-ganda. So matutuwa ka. So I think we should start putting a baywalk right away on this Intramuros, yung tabi ng konti dyan na tapos sa Carriedo. So we can promote it, no? So redirect the vendors to proper resources, so to proper endeavors and areas where they can be productive instead of yung nagtatagisan tayo ng lakas ng So we will redirect a lot of the efforts and energies of the City Hall po. So yan po ang gagawin natin. Of course, redirecting it for efficiency is one thing. Not only the hawkers, but all the departments, even our engineering, our assessment, our health and sanitation should also be redirected. Lalo na sa sports, palagay ko ngayon. I was a basketball member of the Ateneo Basketball Blue Eagles champion team, 1976-1977. My son is the manager of the Lyceum basketball team. So we're very committed to sports and youth development. So our projects will not only be projects on infra, on business, on uplifting the lives of the poor, but uplifting the youth, yung kabataan po, at other sectors in society po, LGBT, women's po. We have programs for that. So if we can only be given a chance to serve, we can show what we can do. But in the meantime, we can espouse in detail what we're going to do. Espouse.
Thank you so much, sir. So the next question is actually related from a question given by Miss Emily earlier. This is from a Facebook user, Patricia May Mendoza. Last January, you claimed that the renovation of Manila Zoo and its conversion into a vaccination site was a mistake. If you were to be elected, what would you have done to rehabilitate parks and open spaces in Manila?
First, the zoo, no? I think 100 million rehabilitation of the zoo would be more than enough to rehabilitate the zoo, not 1.7 billion. Secondly, the parks. We can, because the problem of the city now is space. There's very little space in the city. So what we plan to do is for the parks, we have to maintain this green space. But because there is little space, what we plan to do is make the ground floor a swimming pool for the parks. Ground floor of the existing parks will make it swimming pool, a multi-purpose area. The second floor, a library, tapos separate entrance, yung burulan ba? Kasi it's so hard na magpaburol now eh. Yung kahit maliit na space sa second floor, burulan. Pero kailangan may library, yung kabilang entrance, para sa mga kabataan. Tapos third floor, we can make that into a basketball court. Tapos fourth floor, doon natin gagawin green. Gagawin natin green yung fourth floor. So that's what we intend to do with the parks. So I can show you models of what I have envisioned. Actual models, I can bring you to one right now, few hundred meters away. So what we have done in the Lyceum, sa library po, bagong library. So that's what we want to do for later, if you have time, 10-15 minutes, I can take you a tour. So on a tour, so you can see what we would want to do for our existing parks. So yung ground floor po, para may paliguan, tsaka libangan ng kabataan, sports, and hanggang third floor po. Tapos yung sa taas po, gagawin nating park. Lalagyan natin ng puno at maliliit na puno at magagandang halaman para may pasyalan pa rin ang taong bayan. Green pa rin yung roof deck.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, the next question is from Chubby Bani from Facebook. In your previous mayoralty candidacy, you vowed to enact ordinances that prioritize tax, ayuda, and social welfare reform. Will you still push for these plans, or are you planning to enact new ones?
This is my first run. I've never run for mayor. My second run for congressman, I lost by a mere 2,000 votes, and I'm always grateful to the Lord for wherever I'm brought. So ako naman ho, yung social welfare reform naman natin, I think we just have to make it efficiently, no? Yung plans po natin, katulad ng job orders, I think we will push for that. We will continue that. Paparamihin pa natin. Yung ayuda po, yung nasa kahon, we'll put more value into that kahon because right now they're paying 820. The city is paying 820, and I've costed it on retail. It's only 450. I'm sure on wholesale. So we'd like to give more value into that box. So we can perhaps have double the size of that box, double the content for an 820 value. So doblehin po, pwede yung doblehin eh. So I have the records with me. It's 820, they're paying 820. At alam naman ng taong bayan, wala namang 450 yung laman ng box on retail. So we just have to double what's inside that social welfare program, no? So marami pa hong social welfare programs, and we would like to continue the good social welfare programs of our beloved mayor Isko, who started out with our ticket. So we wish him the best, but unfortunately, yun nga, I feel that BBM is the better candidate. So may the better candidate win for them. So, but as far as his good social welfare reforms are concerned, we will continue it and make it better.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from AJ Season, another Facebook follower. Assuming that not all Manila citizens are aware of your candidacy or are aware of your past accomplishments, and given the tight campaign timeline, what is one plan or reason for them to entrust their vote for you as the mayor of Manila?
Siguro ho, no? Siguro we just have to look na my track record is from a small manufacturing company. I've made it into a quadruple A construction company among my several companies, and I've succeeded in doing so on very tight corporate ethical rules and regulations, no? So I think I can implement that well because of the tight campaigns. Siguro the trust reposed on me by so many people who have been trusted by kasi I did not ask for this all of a sudden Congressman Ocampo calls me and tells me, you should run. I'm not running. I'm just going to support you. Congressman Naida Angpin, Congressman Harry Angpin calls me, and then all of a sudden, I have 3 inches thick of endorsement from all the candidates coming from different parties asking me to run, even the President Erap, who love Manila and who love to see the people of Manila flourish and improve their lives. I think their endorsement on my candidacy, in fact, even another candidate, a reputable candidate who was our Manila City Health Officer for 11 years during Lim's time and Erap's time, after having realized that I filed my candidacy, withdrew his candidacy without me asking for him to withdraw, and he endorsed me. Dr. Izon, who was the son of the former Chief of Police of Manila. He's 11 years. These endorsements, I think, from people who know me and from people, these are people have trusted and who have no personal agenda because they're not running. These people are not running. Gusto na lang nila makita maayos ang Manila. I think their endorsements and endorsements of so many people of goodwill, I think will help me propagate my news to my programs of good news and program of hope and program of change and program of improvement for the City of Manila. So I just have to rely on good meaning people like you to help me propagate this on a very short time. And maybe if you feel that I am a better candidate for the City of Manila, I can bring more value to the people and to our beloved city, then maybe we can change the awareness level that is very low on my candidacy. Well, not very low, but the lowest. Because although Ma'am says I'm leading on surveys, most of these surveys shows that I have the lowest awareness level. Those that will not vote for me, will say, who is Alex Lopez? So that's what I look at, the qualitative survey, no? Then I've seen that's true. That the awareness level for me, although at 70% is the lowest, because my other two opponents, although my end numbers are very high, my awareness numbers are very low. So bringing up this awareness level will help me. So maybe I can start putting up ads in Manila Bulletin or in your social media page. So for awareness, because I bring really a fresh perspective on managing the City of Manila, and it's a perspective that has been polished from our running the city from 1986 to 1992. This has been a government of honesty, of integrity, of hard work, of Mel Lopez and his partner, Alex Lopez. I was his Robin, kaya lang walang may kilala sa akin nun. Because he really tried to keep us away from any of these controversies, no? But I'm happy that I was part of that. I think it's a glorious years, despite the fact that we had mistakes, which I had to. I can see how we can correct and improve on all the mistakes of other mayors that have gone and applying the private sector outlook on this.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we are down to our last question from social media. This is from a Facebook follower, Heidi Villazar. Can you disclose the reason behind the withdrawal of your brother, Representative Mel Lopez, from running for mayor in Manila? He was actually endorsed by President Duterte. Do you plan to have the president's endorsement too?
Number one, Manny did not withdraw. Although the president has endorsed him, he never filed for the mayorship. I think he had initial intentions of running, and he's gone around the city. And I think he thought it more worthwhile to continue his work as congressman because he's head of the Metro Manila Congressional Committee. So that's a really big task also to handle, to manage the Metro Manila Congressional Affairs. So he feels he would do a better job there. So here I am trying to continue his initial wishes to run for the city.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you again to our Facebook followers. Very, very good questions. We also have today Attorney Alex Lopez, running mate Mr. Raymond Bagatsing, who is vying for Vice Mayor seat in the City of Manila. Welcome to MB Hot Seat, Mr. Bagatsing.
Thank you.
So may we also invite Mr. Bagatsing to share a few words to our audience.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here, for including me in this interview with our Mayor, Attorney Alex Lopez.
Thank you, sir. We also have a few questions for you. Our very first would be, how did you arrive at the decision to run for mayor and why with Attorney Alex Lopez?
Actually, it's a good question kasi I have a group, ang Kasama, ang Katipunan ng Samang Maharlika. I've been with them for 20 years. We're a missionary foundation. Tumutulong kami sa iba't ibang mga nasalanta ng kalamidad at mga iba't ibang kung ano man po ang kailangan namin may tutulong sa mga nagugutom sa buong Pilipinas. We've already established and put up a lot of quite a good number of daycare centers sa buong Pilipinas. And ang maganda po sa aming samahan ay sa mga daycare center, we actually apply neo-humanism. This is a philosophy from a very renowned philosopher called P.R. Sarkar from India, which is now being studied in the U.S. and in Europe. And we inculcate also the practice of yoga at an early age, at saka meditation, quiet time for children. So because of that, I've been with them for 20 years, and sabi nila, Raymond, we need a representative. Sabi ko, hindi po yata yan ang linya ko, though my family is in politics, but I feel I'm already happy where I'm at, na tumutulong ako, na hindi ko pinapaalam sa tao. I mean, I'm happy doing that just because I didn't think I was gonna get into politics. But sabi nila, kailangan natin. I mean, yung tulong natin is limited because we're only from our own pockets, our own fundraising. Siguro, if you're there, since you are, we believe in your capacity, your goodness, and you've been practicing the wellness and lifestyle for 22 years. I've been a vegetarian for 22 years. And I meditate and I do yoga and all that sort of stuff. And, being healthy and healthy in mind and body. So, nagkataon, they were able to get us, somewhat we were ticketed with BBM. And my mentor, Congressman Jonat De La Cruz, is a good friend of Attorney Alex. And one night, I met with my mentor, and then biglang dumating si Attorney Alex. And actually, it was for Manny Lopez. So I think I would give the stage to Attorney Alex Lopez to explain how that became.
Actually, so I asked Raymond if he can be the vice mayor of Manny. So he said yes, without any conditions. So that's how principled Raymond was. Sabi niya, basta makakatulong lang tayo sa bayan, basta honest government lang tayo. Sabi ko, nako, sigurado yan si Manny, very honest yan. So, until he decided otherwise, and then I approached Raymond, sabi ko, ako na. And yun naman, ayaw na ni Manny, so if you would like to be my vice mayor, and he politely obliged naman.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to ask another question. What is your legislative agenda, considering that the vice mayor leads the city council?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to have a makataong council. You know, yun naman talaga ang ano dyan na kahit papano ay walang pinapanigan ng ating mga ordinansa para lang sa akin na mabalitaan, pagkakakitaan. It should really be for the people. Lahat po ng agenda, lahat po from education to hanap buhay, di ba, to health, to para sa akin po within my power and within my capacity to help. Gusto ko lang maibigay sa mga tao, sa mga lalo na sa mga marginal na mga ating mga Manileño, yung mga basic necessities na pangangailangan nila. And of course, I also believe in my mayor's vision at feeling ko talagang aasenso ang Maynila with our partnership.
Thank you, sir. One more question. You are an actor, a very accomplished one. You are also running for vice mayor against another actor too. What is your edge over him in this campaign?
Siguro po, dahil naging presidente na ako ng Manila at one point in my life. Nung ako'y gumanap ng Manuel Quezon po. Ng Pilipinas, I'm sorry. And then I've also, naging governor na ako sa Bagman, na palabas namin sa Netflix. But, siguro po, first muna ang sasagutin ko yung disadvantage ko dahil siya ay nakapwesto na, may napreba na siya. Di po ba? Siya ay nabigyan na naatasan ng kanyang pagiging congressman. Para sa akin, gusto ko lang sanang sabihin sa mga Manileño na subukan niyo ako dahil ako po'y tumutulong 20 years na walang hinihinging kapalit. And I believe being a bagatsing also, I have the knack for government, no. And given my good heart, and I believe I have ample intelligence, I think yun ang advantage ko because aside from wellness, aside from marami kaming baon it's really for the people. We are not communist, no, and I'm not fully a capitalist, but I believe in free market. I believe in tao. So ayoko ma-mistake ng tao yan being communist, but I believe tao first. Everything, for me, ang resources dapat mapunta sa pangangailangan ng tao.
Thank you, Mr. Bagatsing. I'll now go back to Atty. Lopez. So we have a few lighter questions to ask. First is, your father has created a very strong legacy, not only in the City of Manila. What lessons did you learn from him that you are now applying in your life and in your campaign?
First, his motto is hard work, perseverance is way to success. And number two, have a grateful heart, because if you have a grateful heart, that will keep you humble. So we're always grateful for even for the smallest things we've had. So, at marami pa hong prinsipyo ang tatay ko po natutunan ko on bravery, on honesty in governance, how to deal with people, how to treat every man his due, whether he's rich or poor. Napakarami po. So it's 58 years of living a life as a kanang kamay po ng father ko. Kahit bata pa ako, sinasama na kami sa palaisdaan, sa negosyo, so it's been a pleasure to have worked with a man like my father. So I'm grateful, and marami po akong natutunan. Hindi lang aral, kundi mga prinsipyo po sa buhay na eto nga na i-apply namin, especially those who have less in life should have more in government talaga, in public service, and bibigyan namin ng laman yan at buhay, hindi lamang sa salita. Bibigyan namin ni Raymond ng buhay yan. Those who have less in life will have definitely a lot of government service from our City of Manila when we take the helm, just in case we are given the opportunity to.
Thank you, sir. One more. This month is Women's Month, and you're running against a woman. Do you think that this is a disadvantage on your part? And as a follow-up question, what are your plans for the women of Manila?
Wala naman po kung gender discrimination. So I don't look at them. I don't look up to them. Well, except for my wife. I don't really see her as a woman opponent. I see her as what has she done to the city as vice mayor? What has she done in her ordinances? And what has she done in her past 20 or so more years in public service, which should be served with the highest degree of integrity, honesty, and loyalty, and dedication to public interest. That's what I look at. So, I don't look at it as a gender thing. So, ano naman to hindi naman babae, lalaki, LGBTQ. Ano ba ang ginawa mo nung nakapwesto ka? At ano ba yung gagawin mo? So, yun ang tingin ko dyan. Ngayon, for the Women's Month, of course, we'd like to congratulate all the women. Alam mo naman, I have a wife, I have kids, I have a mother who I respect dearly. They're all women, and we would give them not only the respect, but the support that should be given them, especially for the underprivileged, yung safe zones po nila. Dapat pangalagaan natin yon. Yung mga karapatan po nila, panlipunan at pangtao ho, kailangan tulungan natin sila if it is violated, and for, of course, ina po ng bayan ang mga kababaihan po. So, kailangan po nating ibigay ang respeto natin sa ating mga ina at ang pagmamahal po ng pamilya, dyan po nang gagaling sa ina. At sa ating mga anak naman po na babae ay, mga boss kasi mga babae na anak ko kawawa yung lalaki. So, I don't need to. My kids are, I think they've grown up, and siguro tingnan na lang nila yung mga buhay ng mga anak ko. How I've treated my children, and they will see the kind of treatment I will give the children of the City of Manila once I am already in there, no? So, makikita nyo naman yan sa pamumuhay ko, how I live, how I treat my children, how I treat other women. I think that's leadership also by example, showing the respect that is due. And of course, the love we give our parents should be the love that we should give the elders, the senior citizens that I think is not getting their fair share. They don't get their social amelioration funds on time. Maybe this time they will. But hopefully after the elections, that should be the case. And so many privileges for women should be espoused also, and their rights protected.
Thank you, sir. Since nabanggit mo ng family mo and your wife and your daughter, your children, daughters, and a son. So, how is family life? I know it's hectic, campaigning. How are you balancing work and family and life in general?
Every morning, we have a Bible prayer with my kids. Actually, there's only one daughter living with me because two daughters, one lives in and out because she has her own apartment. I have a son who is married, who doesn't live with me, and I have another daughter in Harvard pursuing her second master's degree. And it's nakakamiss po, pero they all understand, and my daughters and my son help me despite their busy schedule. Also, they're into the campaign, and yun po. So I try to have dinner at home, sometimes at 9, 10 pag uwi ko, pero breakfast po I also have it before, like today, because I'm rushing to this bulletin, and pag nag-aapura po, I have it while we're having our Bible study, so with the family. So we share a lot of time together with our Lord. So, yan po. So, isa lang nakalimutan ko nga pala is we've had 22,000 scholars at the Honorio Lopez Technical Institute, and those are one of my few social projects po. And I think that's one of the most successful TESDA accredited technical institutes where we've given our youth, we're teaching them how to fish, because giving them fish is food for the day, and teaching them how to fish is, we thought, food for a lifetime. Pero ito ho, isang dahilan kung bakit kami kumatakbong mayor is hindi po sapat na marunong ka mangisda. Kailangan may bangka ka, may lambat ka para makapangisda ka. Kaya ho magpapautang kami. So, kulang yung 22,000 scholars na yan, mahigit halos 23,000 na. 400 of which graduated during the COVID. Kulang po yan kasi kailangan, nakita namin, kulang talaga ng mahihirap at ng kahit anong skills meron ka, kung wala kang kapital, ay mahirap po mag-start up. So that's why we're going to have a lot of livelihood. We're going to support cooperative. We're going to have personal loans to our, I think Raymond agrees with me, and our whole councilor team agrees with me that is our direction to take.
Thank you, Atty. Lopez. Thank you, Mr. Bakatsing. Thank you for your insightful responses and for accepting our invitation to be in our hot seat. That is our hot seat episode for today. We hope that you have learned something new about our candidate for mayor in the City of Manila, and we hope that this can help you make an informed decision about the upcoming elections. Dahil ang pagkakaroon ng matalinong boto ay isang responsibilidad ng bawat Pilipino para sa magandang bukas. Please like and share this video and subscribe to all the Manila Bulletin's social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Please use the hashtags MB Hot Seat Lopez, Matalinong Boto 2022, and Magandang Bukas. Till next time, I'm Jane King Cheng, and this is MB Hot Seat.